my tongue, tongue, tongue. Your body is so sweet, sweet, sweet. Invite me if you come, come.
I have an issue with this video, which has nearly 220 million views on TikTok when I last checked. It's a great video. It shows her partner's real and raw reaction to seeing the birth process. That's all good. However, the caption of this video is POV, you're watching your favourite pub burn down. Now, as an obstetric doctor, I hate this phrase. I understand the sentiment. I get it. The vulva can certainly look alarming during birth if you look down in the middle of that birth process. It's usually men that are using this phrase, and they're kind of referring to their partner's vulva as like it's their property. I also don't understand why you would want to be adding any kind of shame or embarrassment talking about the appearance of a part of her body, which is literally bringing your child into the world. And don't get me wrong, I know it's supposed to be humour, and I'm not someone who takes life too seriously, but I also think that men's wishes and perspectives have controlled the narrative on how women's bodies should look and feel for far too long, and frankly, I'm over it. If a birth partner sees crowning, here is what they might be noticing. So, of course, the perineum stretches and looks taut. The skin of the vulva can look darker or swollen. There may be tears that are happening as the birth is actually taking place, or we may perform an episiotomy if it's clinically needed. So if you happen to look down just after your baby has been delivered, you might see any of these changes. You might also see a fair bit of blood. You might see some poo, some water from the baby. All of that is perfectly normal, and of course it can look surprising if you see it happening. And to reassure you, the vulva is actually designed perfectly for this part of the process. It's supposed to stretch. There's plenty of blood flow to the vulva, containing everything your body's going to need in order to ensure wound healing and prevent infection. And so partners are often amazed that they do happen to look at birth and then they look down again 15 minutes later when we finish cleaning it up and stitching everything, that it comes together beautifully, and you can usually barely see any wounds on the vulva when you're looking from the outside. And in addition, the vagina and the perineum, they're elastic tissues. So all that stretching you might have seen when the baby was crowning, it disappears. It's sitting back as it used to. You might see some swelling and bruising, but that usually settles over time. But here is my advice for birth partners. Do us all a favour and stay at the birthing person's shoulder unless you're invited to look. It doesn't help you or her to watch the stitching being repaired. Instead, use some calm words, offer her some fluids, maybe some lip balm, cool cloths, advocate for her, so help her feel comfortable, and then after the birth, help her to hold the baby if she wants to, get her some pain relief, maybe offer to do all the chores around the house when you get home as she's healing. Generally, let's use better language. Let's be respectful, accurate and kind. Birth is incredible, and videos like this show that. Your vulva is designed for this process, and your partner's role here is just to offer some support and be ready to receive your new baby. Tell me if you've also heard this phrase. Am I just being a killjoy, or do I have a point here?